We're on what feels very ancient, mystical land where people have lived in harmony with Mother Earth for thousands of years. This is an amazing school, the School of the Earth. It's a place where we have free will choice. We can choose, and then we will experience the consequences of our choices. Ever since I learned about the loss of indigenous people, I wondered why this is happening. I knew the reason which caused the genocide, of course, but I guess I believed, based on my own journey, I came to know that to everything there is a higher reason which often we do not understand when we just look at things from a human perspective. So part of our evolution, as I see it, is that we grow from a human understanding, knowledge, perception, to a spiritual and soul perception. Many First Nations have had a very deep-rooted spiritual way of life. Everything was sacred. Every living thing was sacred. The water was sacred. Stones were sacred. The sun and the moon were sacred. All living things and all people were sacred. I believe that our core wound is the loss of this sacred life. Our separation from Mother Earth and our separation from a spiritual life, a life where everything is sacred. I believe it's important we remember the dream we carry in our heart, the dream of our soul and the dream of all of creation to create heaven on earth. And like I said, I wondered, why did we lose all those cultures? And of course in spirit nobody is lost, nobody has vanished. In spirit all those beings are still very much with us. And when we go to some of those special places where maybe we have been before, but also some of those guides and spirit beings from our soul family are, we can feel this connection. I believe it's not about just following a certain way anymore, the Lakota way or the Christian way or whatever way, because for many tens of thousands of years we have had those beautiful cultures, and if we had come off the rail a little bit, so to speak, the elders will come and talk to us, somebody will come and guide us and help us to come back on track and maybe see why are we destructive or why are we doing what we're doing, which is not really in harmony with the good of all people. And I believe now we are evolving to a new level, if you like, a level where it's not about other people guiding us so much, but about us feeling in our own heart what is the right thing to do. Knowledge can very much take us away from this. I don't believe that science has helped us in so many ways. It has really taken us away from just a simple way of life where we know intuitively, we feel what is good for us and what is not. Now we have so many distractions, people running around with their phone, driving and on the phone, walking and on the phone, being with their partner and on the phone. We have become very much separate from our heart. And again, this core wound, this core separation, when we get hurt, and in many ways we have replicated this feeling of separation in our personal life with our parents, who of course also have experienced this separation. So on some level, unless they've truly spent their life healing and growing, they are still wounded, and as a result we then get wounded. And this has been going on for thousands of years. So to come back to us evolution, I believe very much that it is important that we reconnect with a way of life which is simple, which is real, that we create and choose, act and feel from our heart. And if something gets triggered in me, which is anger or frustration, that I take responsibility and I go and work with this, see where this is really coming from in my life. And instead of reacting to what's outside, people or news, I take responsibility and I work with this. I believe that the new world is very much about a heart-based way of life, a feeling way of life, a life where we reconnect with innocence, just like children. But of course we we just have a raven visitor on top of our rock here, so that's a good sign. Ravens are messengers. So let us evolve together. Let us not be sidetracked by this modern civilized world, but as much as we can, let us become independent from the destruction of this world. While at the same time, of course, we need to care about others, we need to feel for others, and we need to do what we can to stop the war, for example, in Syria. Knowledge can very much take us away from being, and that part of being conscious really is that every moment I'm conscious, I'm in my body, I'm feeling, I'm in my heart, so that I connect with the tree right here, the bird, the sky, the wind, the person in front of me, every person I meet, that I'm really present and conscious. And I've been saying for a long time that a lot of people are so overwhelmed by the big news and the big events that they really are not conscious in the moment with what is happening right there in their own house, with their own child or whatever. And I believe that's the most important. Many people will say, look, I really just have no choice. For example, I can't leave Gaza, or, I'm poor, or, and what I have learned is that as we heal and grow on the inside, what manifests on the outside will change. But also, I really have come to believe that each one of us, every moment, has a set of options. And that mainly relates to the way I react to what is. I mentioned this young man with no arms and legs on a piece of wood in India, and when I looked in his eyes, I saw pure love and God, if you like. If we look at life from a soul perspective, and we are in this school of the earth over many, many lifetimes to become more conscious, to learn and to grow, to help each other. And when we leave this body, we look back at this life with our guides and say, okay, what have I learned? What have I not learned? What have I done? good and maybe not so good. What have I been able to forgive? I believe that, we can just say, oh yes, of course I love my parents. But the truth is I'm still actually hurt based on certain things. And in our world we have a tendency to just whitewash, to pretend it's all good, to put a mask on, to distract ourselves, to want to forget, to want to bury, to not want to really deal with what is in us. And instead we react to all the bad stuff which happens to us from the outside, and we blame others. And I don't believe that's being very conscious. Our work, so to speak, our challenge is that no matter what the circumstances, and yes, some people have very, very difficult life situations and challenges. Many, I cannot even imagine how it will be. And you look some of the Syrian people who've now are arriving in Europe, and many of them in the movies and documentaries I've seen, amazingly, they still look like really beautiful, loving people. Let us be conscious in the moment of both what is in us and what is all around us. And let us remember the dream of our heart and our soul, the dream of all of creation, to create heaven on earth. Not just to be in heaven on earth, but to actually create it again together. We've now seen a lot of destruction and harm being done to both Mother Earth and people. So let us each in our own life, in our own family, every day, as best as we can, consciously create from our heart with love and compassion, and be open to gather more soul wisdom through experience, and trust that every moment what comes to me helps me to grow more, helps me to evolve more, not just for my personal benefit, but for the good of all people. And so let us evolve to a more conscious way of life, where we are devoted to heal and grow in ourselves, and together create this sacred life again, which we have been living for many, many thousands of years. Let us create together this sacred life again. So be it. I believe a lot of the developments in the world, while they are not pleasant, may actually help us to make the right changes in the end. Again, we cannot take with one hand from the system to have financial security and so forth, and with the other hand want to create a new and better world. I very much believe that we can do this. We need to be willing and open to do this inner work of healing and growing. And we're not just doing this for ourselves. I believe that we are here to help our brothers and sisters and to support them. And the more we do, the more we are fulfilled in ourselves as well. For many years I had a vision and a dream to create and support circles of healing and love. And I would like to invite anyone, if you would like to start a small circle wherever you are, please let me know. And I hope that before long we can online maybe support each other, have various circles at the same time, connect, and we can share about this healing and growing work, and about creating together this new and better world based on love and compassion, harmony, forgiveness, peace and wellness and equality for all people, all races, no matter what religion or philosophies they have. So let us work together. We're all in the same boat. This is a beautiful planet. Let us do the work we need to do in ourselves so that we can truly create heaven on earth. I believe we can. So let's do that. Lots of love. Om Takyase.